We were discussing the legalities of the lightsaber. If it were to actually exist, would the government ban it?
Yeah, so that was kind of our topic. We recorded an entire 15-minute video and didn't record because, reasons. Anyway, so if they created a lightsaber, now a lot of YouTubers have been out there trying to do that. There was the guy who made the flame lightsaber. There was the hacksmith. There are scientists that are working to actually try to get lightsabers to be made, the Star Wars lightsaber, where you have the hilt and it extends to a certain length. There's a blade and it cuts through pretty much anything. So my question, my discussion topic today would be, what would the legalities of that be if they created them and started to sell them and distribute them? I mean, what do you think would be the legislation that goes into that? All right, so let's start with this. Now, if they were going to create a lightsaber, what do you think would be the first move pulled by Congress? Because you got to think, so the lightsaber is essentially just a blade of heat that is 100% a concealed weapon. It's just a small metal tube, pull it out, press the button, and boom, you have a sword, basically, that can cut through almost anything. It's not like a metal sword. You can stop it with a fence, a block of wood, a piece of fruit, anything you can stop a sword with normally. Maybe not a piece of fruit, there's actually a whole video game on how to cut through fruit. So today's video, we're trying something a little new. We're moving away from the
boring slideshow.
The boring slideshows, and we're gonna try this. We're not putting our faces in it because we've got some questionable videos on our channel. But let's go ahead and talk about our today's topic.
Lightsabers.
Let's try to.
Should they be legalized?
All right.
If lightsabers were real, would we be able to carry them? Would the government ban them instantaneously, or would there just be large restrictions on their use, carry, and concealment?
Let's really talk about the legality of the modern day lightsaber. Were we to perfect it?
I believe that if we were to make a lightsaber in real life, that it would start out kind of like the Wild West again, where anyone could carry it for any time. If there were some sort of large problem that occurred, where it's like, man with lightsaber slaughters school of Padawans, then
instantly
there might be some, legislation passed to stop the world becoming an evil empire.
People would use it they would weaponize it immediately. And it is a weapon. It is, for all intents and purposes, designed from the Star Wars universe from the start as a
saber.
Weapon.
It's a lightsaber.
It is a sword. I mean,
it's a light fighting sword. A saber was made, for fighting, so.
You couldn't get away with telling someone this is a farming tool.
You see, it depends, because if we have the technology to use them as swords, you'd be able to have the technology to use them as all sorts of things. Even if you just had like a tiny blade coming off, you could use that for all sorts of things. You could use a little tiny cut some stuff up. You could use it to like carve. Even if you had like a lightsaber knife, just a little lightsaber knife, which, for all intents and purposes, if this creates a blade that's that long, tiny little lightsaber knife could create a blade that's like that long, super concealable, and still just dead. It doesn't matter. Like, it's still going at least the depth of the body. So it'd be hard to say. You could have like a lightsaber pocket knife.
Something like it. Yeah, it would be. I mean, you could probably make them in varying sizes. We'll figure out how to make them in varying colors, I'm sure. But you also have to think about the fact that the lightsaber that existed, while it existed years ago, was an ancient Jedi weapon. So it's been worked on for a long time. And then comes out Kylo Ren's lightsaber, which is this is the toy Kylo Ren lightsaber that we have here from it's like a $10 toy. But when they had lightsabers, they were these very clean blades, and Kylo's seemed to be made crudely.
He made it himself,
right,
without any sort of like real inspiration besides pictures. And I don't know, did they even have videos back then, or just holograms?
I don't know. I mean, I think it was just holograms, which is cooler, really.
Yeah. Makes you wonder where the technology went, but so he built the lightsaber, it was a little unstable. Actually, I've heard that these were actually ports to let off loose energy too, instead of it just being like the cool design that he made himself. So it's hard to tell what we'd actually have to do to make the lightsaber stable, at least for the first couple models.
Yeah, but let's talk a little bit about how easily it could be weaponized or used to harm, especially as the Jedi were ancient warriors. They were knights. They were there to bring order and peace and balance, and they were essentially government hired assassins, really. And
I wouldn't say assassins. They were counselors. They went there. Usually, they didn't attack people who weren't dangerous. first of all, but they would often go on diplomatic missions. They were just like warrior diplomats. Hey, I'm here. Don't try to kill me or I'll just kill you. It just so happened that then they entered this gigantic war, but that was, after the Jedi were dying down.
Right, but I don't know. You have to think about, your average Joe, your disgruntled coffee shop worker or something, getting a hold of a weapon like this and, going into a bus full of people and just taking it out and cutting the bus in half.
Well, the thing is you could stop almost anyone with a lightsaber with just a gun.
So if you're gonna shoot like a bullet at a lightsaber, let's think about that. Because in the movies, they had hundreds, thousands of soldiers, troops with blasters, and those blasters they would try to. A Jedi could easily deflect a blaster bolt. Not that they would necessarily have to, because stormtroopers couldn't aim anyway. But they could. They could just deflect, hundreds of these bolts coming at them, and it was never an issue. They were in tune with the Force. They could stop it. So, a bullet, you have to think. Clearly, a plasma bolt fires
about the
slower.
It's about the speed of a fastball. They measured it out. So they're basically blocking fastballs coming at them. Yeah. And they didn't fire very fast. Now a bullet travels roughly 10 times that speed. Something like that. So there'd be virtually no chance you could block it. And if you did block it, it could disintegrate it, but it could also just turn it into a flaming ball and not coming at you. Which you could be potentially making the problem far worse. It's hard to tell, but someone with a lightsaber is not going to be able to stop someone with a gun. Unless it's in close quarters, in which case a close quarters gun would be whoever gets the first hit.
Right, but the collateral damage of a lightsaber from someone who's untrained, that would be the most important thing, is that if you're gonna manufacture this type of weapon, same with carrying a handgun in most states, you're gonna need to be able to pass a training course, you're gonna need to be able to pass some tests and some information on it. There's gonna need to be a lot of information that you need to be able to provide and to
Paperwork, taxes, that kind of stuff you have to pay on.
Like with suppressors.
You have to have a clean background.
You can get suppressors, you can get automatic weapons, but you have to have the right paperwork. You have to have been in the military in a lot of cases, or on a police force where you have the license to use that kind of weapon because, you did for your job. That was part of your employment.
Now, to be fair, this thing would make a great tactical weapon for like a SWAT team or something. Because not only would this be good for close quarters, you're very unlikely to accidentally shoot the wrong person with this. You aim and you can't really miss.
Not to mention, they could just cut open a door.
Exactly, that's what I'm going to say. It's like it's multi-purpose. So you could use it for, you could burst through doors, you could come through a wall. Also think about that. If you own one of these, there's a good chance you could never really get caught. Someone's coming after you, like the police are going to knock down your door, you can cut a hole in the wall and jump out, like Minecraft style.
So this could be, if it fell into the wrong hands, this could be a fantastic criminal weapon, but we want to make sure that we stress that they don't exist yet, but we're getting to the point where enough nerds have gotten enough money that we're really trying, and they have come very close to it. There's some people that are, there was, I think a recent video just got uploaded where I think it was, 2,000 degrees Celsius, superheated lightsaber or something like that. I didn't watch it yet. It's in my to-watch list, but pretty sure that's the Hacksmith, so shout out to him. But, these things can be, if they fall into the wrong hands, they're going to cause a lot of devastation.
Like guns? It's
like
I don't think it's significantly worse than the gun. It's just that it's a more useful tool all around than the gun. It's not more concealable. It's kind of a hard call on what's going to actually happen with it. But I think overall we benefit from having them. And the technologies that we'd get before we actually achieve the lightsaber would be a lot more useful.
Yeah, we're really working towards it because there are a lot of different steps in between what we have now and what we would have if we perfected an actual lightsaber. But if you think of all the steps in between where it could just be something, some sort of light beam, some plasma, something that we could use to, for some sort of surgical purpose or for, like you said, counterterrorism even, just getting into a building, something where we wouldn't need explosions and loud noises. Sure, at nighttime when you pull out a bright red lightsaber, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb from anything, but
it doesn't have to be red. Who knows what the colors would actually be, to be fair.
Yeah, I guess it would depend on whatever chemical reaction is taking place. You could use, copper, get green, whatever, but
But I guess question for our followers would be here. Would you carry a lightsaber? Yeah, all three of our followers. Would you carry a lightsaber or would you carry a gun? I mean, they're both pretty useful.
Or an axe.
Would you carry both? Well, a light axe, I mean, just kind of defeats the purpose.
Just an axe.
I don't think a lot of people carry axes unless they live in, like, Alaska.
Lumberjacks.
Yeah, or Scotland. There's a battle axe, but...
Yeah.
I mean, would you pay the extra taxes to get one of these made?
Thousands of dollars in taxes.
Thousands. Easily thousands of dollars in taxes, and plus thousands of dollars in materials. Probably the upkeep on them would be pretty high. Training classes would be full of, like, dweebs you're going to have to deal with. And also, think about that. The people who you run into on the street. If someone grabs it, it's not like a gun. I mean, who knows like what kind of safeties you'd have to put on it. But you're going to want to show it off, obviously. You're not going to want to tuck it away and be like, oh, I got this lightsaber hidden.
Thumbprints. Phones open with thumbprints. You can have something where only your thumbprint can activate it. And that way...
True, but those are a little finicky. What if you're trying to like activate your lightsaber and then like it doesn't activate and you're stabbed by some other guy's lightsaber?
Well, that's with any other weapon that you screw up using. That's why you got to get good with it.
I mean, same. Mechanical stuff seems to work better than electric.
It seems to. But either way, so, I mean, what do you guys think? Anyone who's watching the video, it doesn't matter. We usually post this to anonymous forums or send it to our friends. But, I mean, what would you guys think in terms of what the legalities would be? Would you want one? Do you think that they shouldn't exist? Do you think that they should be banned if they do, only used by police and, military? Like, what do you guys think? I mean, leave a comment on the video.
Give us your thoughts and opinions on this topic. And write if you would carry it. Write what you think it would be like to own one. Would you be very careful in like hiding it, or would you just show it off all the time?
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I would do with it at all times. Do you think there'd be cleaning maintenance?
No, because from my understanding, the blade that appears. Let me whip this baby out real quick. The blade that appears is very tiny. It's a little chode blade.
didn't come out all the way either.
Chody. Anyways, the blade that appears, I'm pretty sure, isn't any sort of actual matter. Therefore, it wouldn't retract back into the blade when you would close it.
If it doesn't matter, how does it cut through matter?
Energy? I guess, if that makes sense.
I suppose plasma is a fourth form of matter. That's probably what they're going off of, but either way, I mean...
It's a lightsaber. It's really hard. Who knows? Like, again, right now it's currently not there.
The science behind it is complex.
Also, the people can, like, shoot lightning out of their hands and stuff, too.
Yeah, that's a thing.
So...
But, I'm sure that by the time they perfect it, it'll either be a fast-moving solid or some sort of plasma. But definitely we do appreciate any support on the video. So, like it and subscribe to us, that kind of thing. That really does help out our channel. It is developing at the moment. But anyway, guys, let us know what you think. And until next time.